So this is, I just have to explain what's happening. Is whenever I interview Till, he'll go away for a while and then he comes back in different outfits. And I think one of the things that
Guess where I'm going? Guess where I'm going this time? Keep going with your intro. You're doing good, but guess where I'm going?
Where are you? Where are you going this time?
I am going river rafting.
Where are you going river rafting?
The Desolation Canyon, the Green River in Utah.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
I'm so good to be here and tell you about it.
That is amazing. So Till likes to get, I mean, one of the things that
What I like
found,
to get
what?
I like to get what? Dressed up?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
true.
yeah. One of the things though that you're very, in your classes, you're kind of serious. You have a very serious side and you're super intelligent.
Yes.
And you bring to the table a wealth of information.
Safety
But
first.
this side of you, you have a really fun, great sense of humor. And I'm glad that you feel comfortable bringing it here for Massage Magazine and with me today, because I think that it's a beautiful part of you too. So thank you for sharing
kind.
it.
You're so kind. And it's great to be here. And I am really excited about talking to you. About this
are you
trip.
wearing a life jacket?
Yep. Life jacket, complete with like escape knife, whistle. I got my paddle.
So the thing is too, is it's been raining here for days and days. So I feel like I should have, that.
You should have a life preserver.
Yeah.
Forgot one piece of safety equipment here. You're supposed to have that too.
So you're all in.
I'm in.
Okay. So let us begin. Okay. You are definitely by far an industry leader. I met you several years back and I've had the pleasure of getting to know you a bit and doing some classes with you and being around you and having you do the Jam Series events, which I'm so honored. I've gotten mentoring from you, which again, just a huge honor. And I want to say too, let me just go on a little bit. This is what I do. Is that the way that you see things and the way that you speak and some of the training that you've given me behind the scenes, just by the way that you listen, absorb, and handle your interactions. I just want to hear a little bit about where that comes from, because there is some history with some of the work you've done on yourself and what you do outside of teaching massage, body workers all over the world. Look at that.
All right, good. No, you want to go for it. You want to go right for the rapids. Let's do the whitewater thing.
Because I always call you the space between the notes. I can't let that go unseen because of the amount of wisdom. I remember we were doing this thing online called the Inside Job, one of my things. And this guy was like, da, 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 coming at, and you were just so calm and let him do what he needed to do. You let him say what he needed, like you're doing right now with me. You kind of heard it, and then you just kind of brought it back to him in just with such a positive twist and simplicity that you literally couldn't argue with.
Who wants to argue? I mean,
how did you learn all that? Let's start with
what? I don't know. The first thing I think about is the fact that I lived at the Esalen Institute, which is this place in California where massage kind of got launched into popular culture in the US, and a lot of things like different sorts of psychotherapies and body center therapies really had their germinal phases and spread out into the culture from there in the 60s, 70s, and in the early 80s, which is when I was there. And there I got to see hundreds of group leaders and teachers and therapists doing their thing. On any given night, it's a place that people come to give workshops, and I was on the staff and I lived there and did stuff. So any given night, there was 2 or 3 presentations I would have traveled hundreds of miles to go see, or famous teachers. Ida Rolf got her start there. Fritz Perls got a start there. Milton Traeger, good on the list. And so I got to see like hundreds of leaders and getting attacked, getting challenged. And that's
You
was part of the
thrive.
culture too.
You thrive with a good challenge.
Yeah, well, that was part, it was like, encounter groups. That's where they got their start, where it's just like, tell it like it is. Let me get in your face and tell you exactly what I think about what you're doing. And that was, again, we were learning a lot. Let me put it that way. And then I guess the other guy I learned a lot from was a guy named Arnie Mindell about groups and group dynamics and conflict. And he was doing a really interesting work with racism and marginalization in our bodies, the way that we basically marginalize parts of our own experience, just like parts of our society might get marginalized, or people might feel left out of certain processes or opportunities or conversations. He was
A
looking,
little deeper, a little further with that. Just like
yeah,
share more on that, because that's interesting.
sure. Oh yeah. Like body symptoms are tough not to marginalize. If you got a pain in your back, it's tough to really hang out with that and give it the room it's need. We want to just keep on going with our day. We want to get stuff done. We don't want that to hurt. Pop the ibuprofen and keep going, But what's it like to really sit back and listen to whatever's going on in my body and let it have a seat at the table and let it decide part of what I'm going to do as well,
I love
So
that.
that's just, that's one of the basic ideas, but it can really unfold from there, and is really relevant to us as hands-on therapists, because oftentimes we get hired as mercenaries by our clients to basically assassinate symptoms. They show up with the pain in the neck or the pain in the back or whatever, and they're like, can you get rid of this? And a lot of times we can. We are like really good hitmen. We can get like zap those suckers, get them out of the picture, which is, people love us for that. People love us for that, but it's at some point, and we've all, if you work long enough, you have clients where you realize it isn't just about patching them together. It isn't just about getting their neck moving again. It's, there's some deeper thing going on here that they're coming back again and again about. Yeah, and then at some point too, you can start to, like I said, feel like a mercenary, feel like you're just being hired to keep something down that might need a little more love, attention, and space in someone's life.
For me, that's some of the stuff that sometimes I feel it gets lost in the massage shuffle now. Some of those deeper ideas or meanings behind the human body. And that's one of the reasons why I love seeing your classes and attending your classes and hearing you talk about the human body. Because that's why I always say they call it advanced trainings. You just go a little bit slower and a little further with your students, which I think is amazing.
Well, if you're ready for that, let's do it. I mean, why hold back? Why not? Let's go all the way,
Right. So let's talk a little bit about your online classes, because I think this is a good point. And one of the reasons where I just sit there and I watch what you do, and I'm like, this guy has it together. It's like all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted. Everything is set up so flawlessly. If you haven't been on Till's website, advanced-trainings.com, you have to check it out. It's just so well thought out.
That's a big buildup.
I mean, it's a great website. I'm kind of like, I'm in business, I have pretty, I'm semi-retired now. I kind of, I know business, and that is a beautiful website. And one of the things that I like about your online courses is, I even have my notes up here on the screen, is you do 4 live online lectures, let's say, and then people get to break off in groups. And that, I think, is my experience where some of the magic happens. So they get you, and they get some Till, and they get all your cool pictures that you use during your classes, the best pictures ever. I would love to be in your computer for a day and just kind of get some pictures. Next time I come to Colorado, I'm going to bring a little, what are those drives? Anyway, so all this cool information, and Till breaks it all down, and then you get his staff, and everyone kind of gets together and talks. And to me, that I would think that's kind of where I find the magic happens, when the students get to take the information and then share it amongst each other, and then have that faculty member there to kind of help them through that. Has that been your experience? I mean, I think it's so cool.
That's what we're trying to recreate, an even deeper conversation than we can have in person. Of course, we can't do the hands-on part online. We try, actually. We have these virtual practice periods where we're watching people work at their tables, and it's amazing what we see and what we can help them with, but it's not the same as being in person. However, because like you said, it's 4 lectures spread out over typically 8 weeks with time in between to think about it, talk about it, play with it, review it. We go deeper than we do in person. And there's something about the safety of the context where people will get a lot of client stories. We get a lot of doubts, hopes, fears, excitement, and it's really rich what comes together. And people start really applying themselves to the material we're offering.
That is a wonderful point too. The time in between. Time in between the lecture. It gives you time to think about it. Like a quote, like a day is like 1,000 years and 1,000 years is like a day. Just popped in my head. You know, that's a quote I've been thinking about for as long as I can remember. And it just always proves itself to be right and in different ways. And I have all the time in the world to think about that quote, right? So the classes, having that time in between and then having the meetups really helps a student dive in a little deeper than they would be able to otherwise.
Well,
So,
that's one of the nice things about floating down a river too, I gotta say. You just, you get on the water and there's something about it, something about water and the water speed, and nothing like a river. I mean, the ocean's amazing, lakes are awesome, but the river is moving at this steady pace. It's just going. And every now and then there's rapids, but there's also a lot of chill time. But just that river speed, it's amazing.
And that river speed over time, change the shape of the rocks around it.
It does. Changes the people that float on it. Water's like that. Should we talk about some water we're going to go float on, you and me?
But what about one more thing about your class?
Okay.
So you also get, when you do your classes, you get discounts on other things that are involved with your advancedtraining.com. So just tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll move on.
Well, you're so practical. I'm glad you're walking me through it. As a part of the online class, you get recordings of an entire 2-day workshop of the demonstrations, and people buy those separately. People buy them separately, but you get them part of this class. And then basically what we're doing is we're going through, and I get time to talk about what I didn't have time to talk about in the 2-day workshop. And then we have time to discuss it and time to practice it in between, all that kind of stuff. And so then, like, what other extras you get? You get some downloads and stuff like that.
And how long do students have access to these recordings?
Lifetime. Lifetime, longer than the lifetime of a fruit fly. Might be the lifetime of a sequoia. We don't know. We don't know what lifetime means yet, but it's probably going to be your lifetime.
I know.
Or the lifetime of the internet, whichever comes first, one of those. Because you basically, no, it's not like you're just, use it or lose it. You have permanent access to those recordings for as long as we have electricity to fire the servers here.
That's very nice. So what other, you wanted to talk about? Well, wait, no, before we go to more water, we have to stay on land. We have to come back inland and talk about November in the Philadelphia area.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Chris Bohowski, amazing guy. One of my favorites.
I got to meet him, and he's a beautiful guy. Beautiful guy. I don't know if beautiful is the best word for him, but I'm
with you.
Kind of genderless. So.
He's a unique character. Grew up internationally, lives in the States, practices out of Virginia, travels over to Philadelphia to see you and run a class in our series. His classes are really popular. They fill up, and he's going to walk through, I believe it's TMJ, 1 day of TMJ, hands-on work for TMJD and different jaw issues, and then 2 more days just on the neck, jaw, and head in general to really go through the different things that happen for people's neck, jaw, and head.
And of course, one of the big questions has been, how many CEs is it worth? And if you take all 3 days, you get 24 CEs. So that's, for those people in Pennsylvania, that's all the credits you need for hands-on in one swoop.
Well, a lot of Eastern states, I mean, we get people that travel regionally too, or who knows, maybe beyond. So it's, there's not that many hands-on classes these days. And we're really pleased to be able to offer something there for the East Coast. There's not a week that goes by without several inquiries saying, hey, when are you coming to the X or Y, and this is the one for the East Coast. So November, and thanks for hosting us. Thanks for helping us make that happen there.
Well, of course. And the location is easy to get from New York to to where we'll be, and also Jersey. So it's a really centralized location to, this coast. So don't be shy. We hope to see you there.
Yeah.
And then what other water you wanted to talk about?
I see. You're going in order. I love that. So then,
I can hold together a talk.
nice. And then February coming up, sooner than you think, we're going to be in
That's what you've been
Thailand.
saying, and it's really like
It's already racing towards us. We're
it's
going to be in
racing.
Thailand, I said.
Racing.
Thailand. And we're going to be floating on a lake surrounded by national park jungle with wild elephants, wild birds, toucans. Well, I don't know for toucans, actually. There's lots of wild birds. Monkeys, for sure. There are monkeys there. And it's a preserve. It's a jungle preserve that we are in the middle of on a floating yoga center on the lake, teaching body work and getting body work and moving together and swimming and chilling and eating this amazing fresh food. Yeah.
And another thing that I'm looking forward to, I mean, at home, a lot of times I'll detox I'll put my phone away, or, I'll go away to, and stay somewhere and kind of just be like, I'm shutting it down.
Good for you.
This will be a whole new level. If you really think about
yeah, we're calling it a digital detox.
Yes.
Because there's no signal there, which is awesome. It's a little freaky for a lot of people. I mean, seriously, people get there and go through some withdrawals and difficulty adjusting. I don't mean like it's, physical withdrawals, but we get so habituated to being able to check our phones or stay connected in a way that it is an adjustment. But then for the brave that do that, it's amazing. It's just literally amazing. After just even 2 days, you're going, how do I live like that? How do I do that? Yeah.
To be free, to be totally free in just being on a whole
That's
new,
right.
a level that I probably haven't experienced since before my stepmom let me borrow her cell phone that was a suitcase.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I got my first text message, I was like, what in the world is
What the
happening?
hell? Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool. I love technology, but
It is.
we get so few breaks from it for that extended period of time, for those 10 days, for example, that it really is one of the best aspects of the whole event. And then you're getting tons of body work too. We teach in the mornings and we work all afternoon. People are trading, there's supervision groups, there's teacher circulating around helping people. There's like lots of, you work on us, we work on you. There's movement classes going on. There's kayaks to go paddle on. There's like trails and all kinds of really cool stuff. It's amazing. Yeah.
And it's not too late. I believe, isn't the
Well,
early bird special still?
Yeah, the early bird special goes until the end of October. It was full, but we opened up some new spaces. So even if you go there to sign up and it's full, put your name on the wait list, because most people on the wait list get in. It's worth it. And it's really it's a once in a lifetime experience. We'll do other adventures later, but I'm not sure when the next one of these is. So don't hesitate. It's just so worth it.
Woo! Thank you for your time.
Thank you
Sharing
for
yourself
having me.
with us. I've really
Thank
enjoyed
you.
talking to you as always.
Likewise. And, stay safe out there. Yep. Do what you need to do, but get on the water, slow
Get
down,
on-
unplug.
get on the water.
Yep.
Unplug.
And just breathe,
Just
go
breathe.
slow, have a good time. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you. Until the next time, everybody.